I spent $70 on Pokémon Legends ZA, and after a week of hand-holding, flat presentation, and a single city loop that wore out fast, I bailed. Yeah. I couldn't do it anymore, guys. This is not good. You ever have that moment where you're like sitting down, staring at the screen, and just realize the magic isn't there anymore? That was me, sitting in Lumiose City, waiting for the wow moment that never came. The sad part is, I wanted to love this game. I tried to love this game. But somewhere between the recycled setting and overly guided gameplay, I feel like I'd paid premium price for a very low experience. Pokemon is Pokemon. It's the biggest monster collecting franchise ever, and by far. It's supposed to be the gold standard. So when Game Freak announced ZA, a next generation's Legends game promising real-time combat, deeper immersion, and a return to the beloved Lumiose City, you know, the one we explored in X and Y, yeah. Way to nostalgia bait us there. When I heard about all this, I was all in. And then the trailers came out, and it was looking rough, I'm not gonna lie. But I was still in. It was looking rough, but I was still in. I was really just hoping to explore Lumiose City and all of Kalos in a much better way. It started to sound like a dream that could become true. But once I started playing, guys, that dream, it faded fast. ZA is set entirely within Lumiose City. Yeah, no, I mean like literally within the city. You can't leave the city, you don't go on any other missions, just in the city. And sure, like I said, it's the same city from Pokemon X and Y. Wow, nostalgia bait. Game Freak, nostalgia can only take you so far. This is unacceptable. Look, I won't lie, at first, it's charming. You walk down the glowing streets, see cafes and shops, battle trainers on the avenue. But after all of 15 minutes, that charm turns into claustrophobia. You start realizing that you can't go in any one of the shops. There's barely any NPCs in the streets. And there's so many goddamn windows. The Legends name, which once meant open adventure and freedom, now feels ironically confined. And that's when it hit me. I spent $70 on this game. That means this game is supposed to be on the levels of Elden Ring, Ghost of Yotei. Oh, but those are too realistic, they're not anime. Okay, well, what about Metaphor Fantasia, or I don't know, Digimon Storytime Stranger? Yeah, while you were too busy getting gaslit by Game Freak, Digimon released a brand new game. In short, this game is way worth your money than Pokemon. Don't believe me? Well, just take a look at the difference in the openings of these games.
Take your seat and wait for the show to start. A story about the natural laws of the world is about to begin.
Alright guys, I'm gonna be honest. As you've already seen, I rag on Pokemon ZA a lot in this video. So I obviously recommend you don't buy it. But let's say you still want that Pokemon experience and to experience Lumiose City. Well, I recommend you buy a Nintendo 3DS so you can experience or re-experience Pokemon X and Y. And sure, I guess you could play them on an emulator or some weird port, but I promise you it's not the same experience. You need a real Nintendo 3DS, and that's where Sumo Shop Store comes in. The guys over at Sumo Shop Store hand rebuild all these systems. I'm talking every button, every hinge, every screen, restored by hand until it feels factory fresh. No scratches, no stick drift, no weird third-party junk. Just pure nostalgia in your hand. Seriously, I love this thing. And they don't stop there. Every console is like this. I have a PS Vita Slim from them and it looks and plays incredible. Every console also ships in premium packaging. So when you unbox it, it feels like you're opening it for the first time all over again. So guys, in my opinion, this game is just not the way to experience Lumiose City. Playing Pokemon X and Y on the original Nintendo 3DS or new Nintendo 3DS, that's the way to experience it. So simply scroll down to my link in the description and pick up whatever console you're looking for. Okay, now that we're done with that, and while you watch my terrible video, I'm gonna play Pokemon Y. Enjoy. Digimon Storytime Stranger is an actual proper monster RPG experience that respects your time and rewards your curiosity. So today in this video, I'm gonna explain to you why $70 should buy you more using Pokemon ZA and Digimon Storytime Stranger as examples. And I'm gonna do it through a beautiful little PowerPoint presentation that I made for you guys. Okay, let's start off pretty strong here. So let's go to slide 1. This is what I expected to get versus what I got. So picture this, it's Friday night, I've got snacks, I've cleared my weekend, I mentally prepared myself for a brand new Pokemon adventure. $70 well spent, right? The opening cutscene rolls, the city lights up, and I'm thinking, oh, okay, this is it, not bad, not bad. The next chapter, the revolution of Pokemon begins, let's go. Then about 45 minutes later, I realize I've seen the same street corner like 8 times. The same cafe. I've heard the same music looping. And I've maybe heard a handful of voice acted lines. Actual voice acted lines are harder to find in this game than good Pokemon games in real life. Thanks. My legendary journey has become me jogging laps around a single city block while some random NPC girl talks to me as if I've never played a fucking video game in my life before. Oh, it's for kids. Dude, give me a break. There's 2- and 3-year-olds that use iPads better than my mom. You cannot tell me that people cannot figure out how to play this game. And if they can't, they shouldn't play it. Anyways, don't get me wrong. The first hour of Pokemon ZA wasn't that bad. Next thing I knew, my Pokemon were like level 20 and I was still in tutorial mode. I started to wonder if the game was secretly trolling me. Like, was this a psychological experiment to test how little content they can give us and see if we'd still buy it? Because if it was, congratulations, Game Freak. You got me. You got me. Every time I thought, okay, this next mission, it's gonna like open up. The whole game's gonna open up. But instead, the game said, no, here's another shop that sells the same 5 items. By hour 5, I was having a full-blown existential crisis. I'm catching Pokemon, battling Pokemon, running around, but what was I actually doing? So when I finally booted up Digimon Storytime Stranger, it was like a breath of fresh air. Oh, I could breathe. I could breathe. It felt like giving a blind person the ability to see again. Like suddenly colors existed, emotion existed, the concept of fun existed again. After hours of pacing the same Pokemon City block, I was finally out, free, exploring, and immediately greeted by something Pokemon forgot to give me. Soul. A soul within a game. Right from the title screen, you can tell this game actually gives a shit. The music hits, the visuals pop, and within 10 minutes, I'm knee deep in an actual story, not a 10-hour long tutorial. Anyone want to buy this? Who wants to buy this? Drop a comment down below. There's mystery, drama, stakes. The Digimon are a much better part of the story here. They talk to me, they react, they care. I'm sitting there thinking, oh my god, this game actually wants me invested? And that's the best part. It wastes 0 time. Barely any hand-holding, no unskippable lectures about Pokeballs. There's no, hey, did you know the grass is green and the sky is blue? Once I got done with that introduction mission, I realized I was actually smiling again. Like actual dopamine was flowing through my brain. The combat felt rewarding, the soundtrack slapped, and the game world was actually enjoyable to explore. Every new area looked different. Every new encounter felt unique. It seriously felt like going from a colorless silent film to like an IMAX, insane Chainsaw Man movie experience. And that's when it hit me. I wasn't just playing Digimon, I was actually healing from Pokemon ZA's concrete cage. Storytime Stranger reminded me why I fell in love with monster RPGs in the first place. Adventure, strategy, emotion. This is not nostalgia bait. This is passion. And it's the same price as this. Let's go to slide 2. Let's talk about the combat. Because that's the one thing everyone defends about Pokemon ZA. They're like, yeah, well, the world's kind of empty, but the battles are cool though. Yeah, I'd say the battles are cool for about all of 15 minutes. After 15 minutes, you're just running around this little space, like just spamming attacks over and over again. It's so dumb. It looks so bad. Hate me all you want, but Pokemon should be turn-based. I don't know why they tried to do this real-time combat thing. There's no complexity, no incentive to experiment, just me spamming the same moves while the camera angle pretends something exciting is happening. And the thing is, it could have been amazing. The battles have no synergy, no depth, no real reason to care about your team composition or whatever. Meanwhile, over in Digimon Story Stranger, sure, it's not real-time combat and it's not exactly doing anything revolutionary, but it's turn-based combat that works, and it works well. There's so many different ways to build your Digimon team, and even within that team, there's so much depth in the personality types and abilities. By the time I finished my first Digimon boss fight, I wasn't just entertained, I was invested. When it came to Pokemon ZA, I was just thinking about which reselling platform I can get the most money on. Anyone know? Okay, bring up slide 3. Alright, let's talk about exploration and Pokemon's lack thereof. Because I swear, when it comes to ZA, this game gaslit me into thinking I was on some massive adventure, when in reality, I was just looping around Lumiose City like an NPC with bad pathing. You know that moment when you realize the map isn't getting any bigger? Yeah. That's the moment I died inside, and that was about 15 minutes in the game. And I promise you, I kept thinking, surely there's like a secret area. Maybe the outskirts open up. Maybe we leave the city at some point. But nope, Lumiose is your world. Lumiose is your life. You do get to go down in the sewers, but you can only go down there during like certain quests. And then, and this will be a reoccurring theme in the video, I promise, I switch over to Digimon. It's like the world exhaled. As you play through this game, you'll experience some truly incredible looking levels. The city you explore for the majority of the game is gorgeous, not to mention all the little digital worlds you encounter are unique and trippy. They were super interesting to look at and run through. You go from one area to the next, new enemies, new layouts, new story beats, all seamlessly connected. You don't get that Pokemon style invisible wall or some random NPC blocking the gate like, hey kid, you can't go there yet. Nah, Digimon says, go explore, break something, have fun. And I actually got lost, like in the best way possible. I had to stop and check the map because there's too much to see. That's what exploration is supposed to feel like. In Pokemon, I was stuck in a city, and a small city at that. In Digimon, I was discovering worlds and unique dimensions. It reminded me why I fell in love with these games in the first place. That little hit of wonder every time you walk into an area and think, what's waiting for me here? So yeah, Pokemon ZA keeps you on a leash, to be honest with you, while Digimon actually lets you explore. Alright everyone, congratulations, you made it to this point in the video. This is slide 4, the $70 value index. This is where we ask the hard question of, what does $70 actually buy you in 2025? So this is what I mean when I say $70 should buy you more. ZA feels like a tech demo that snuck into the premium aisle. It's like paying for a 5-course meal and getting a really nice breadstick. Meanwhile, Digimon Story Stranger is out here serving appetizers, entrees, dessert, all for the same price. Pokémon Legends ZA gave me 6 hours of confusion and disappointment. Digimon gave me 40 hours of actual content. Do the math, that's $11 an hour of Pokemon Pain versus $1.75 an hour of Digimon Joy. That's an investment portfolio I can get behind. And I get it, Pokemon's a legacy franchise. It can charge whatever it wants because nostalgia prints money. But at some point, you have to look at what you're getting. Because paying full price for barely a game, that's not nostalgia, that's robbery. At the end of the day, I don't care how polished the graphics are or how smooth the battle animations look. If a game can't make me want to play it, then what are we doing here? Pokemon ZA is empty and doesn't even look good. Digimon looks like a high-budget anime RPG. Alright, slide 5. Let's talk about Game Freak's game design philosophy. Or as I like to call it, if it ain't broke, just remake it anyways. Pokemon's entire creative process feels like a group of executives in a boardroom asking, what's the absolute minimum we can charge without people noticing? And you know what? We noticed. We've noticed before, but you know what? We're starting to really notice now. And don't get me wrong, I love Pokemon. It raised me. Man, Pokemon taught me to grind, to strategize, to cry when my Charizard fainted. But at some point, the series stopped evolving and started devolving. Every time a new Pokemon game gets announced, it's like, oh, new region. And then you realize it's the same assets with a new different weather filter. Meanwhile, Digimon out here is actually taking risks. It's not afraid to try new mechanics, experiment with the tone, throw you into a dark, emotional story about identity and data corruption. You know, casual Saturday morning stuff. They don't care about chasing nostalgia. They're too busy building something new. And listen, you cannot give me that thing. I know games are hard to make, but If Digimon can do it, if whoever made Digimon Storytime Stranger can do it, I know the people behind Pokemon can do it. They got a lot of money. All right, that's enough of the slideshow. I'm done riffing on Pokemon. Let's talk about Digimon Storytime Stranger. I want to talk about why I love this game so much. This game has like over 450 different Digimon to collect, convert, and evolve, which already sounds insane, right? But it's not just about quantity. Each Digimon feels different. You've got attributes like vaccine, virus, and data that all counter each other. Plus elemental types like fire, water, electric, and a bunch more layered on top. So it's not just pick your favorite monster and mash buttons. You actually have to think about team composition. Then there's this whole personality system, which I didn't even expect to care about, but ended up loving. Each Digimon has one of 16 personalities. Stuff like daring, zealous, calm, and it literally changes how they grow. Like a daring Digimon's gonna bulk up on attack and defense, while a calm one focuses more on intelligence or speed. You can even change their personality by how you train or talk to them on the Digifarm. So two of the same species can end up totally different depending on how you raise them. It's actually kind of wild. And let's talk about evolution, or Digivolution. The game doesn't lock you into one linear path, like Rookie, Champion, Mega, and that's it. You go forward, backward, sideways, whatever fits your build. If your stats and personalities line up a certain way, new paths open up. Don't like how your Digimon turned out? De-Digivolve them and try a different path. It's like this weird RPG meets puzzle system that makes every evolution feel earned. Plus you've got like attachments and equipment that actually matter. You can equip items that boost stats, tweak elements, or even give you new skills mid-fight. And yeah, the combat's turn-based, but it's actually layered. You're not just spamming the same attack over and over again. You're managing your team's order, skills, passives, and elemental weaknesses like it's an actual strategy game. You can even pull off combo moves with your own agent skills, which makes you feel like you're a part of the fight instead of just a spectator. Personality builds, team synergy, training routines, all that stuff makes you feel like you're making choices that actually matter. And the best part, it never feels like work. You're constantly discovering new Digimon, new evolutions, new story arcs, and it keeps rewarding you for paying attention. This is what a $70 game should feel like. Packed with content, bursting with systems, and more importantly, made with love. Okay, let's talk about the story. Because honestly, it's pretty decent. Like, I went in expecting some cookie cutter Saturday morning cartoon plot, but Digimon Storytime Stranger actually surprised me. You play as this agent working between the human world and the digital world, trying to figure out what's causing these wild time distortions. And yeah, it sounds like typical JRPG chaos, but the game actually commits to it. There's mystery, some emotional moments, and even a few twists that had me thinking, okay, hold up, this is getting pretty good. And the pacing, way tighter than I expected. It doesn't drag you through endless tutorials or exposition dumps. It just throws you into the deep end and trusts you to swim. You're meeting characters, uncovering what's really happening to the Digimon. You're meeting characters, uncovering what's really happening with the Digimon. And the story keeps building on itself instead of repeating the same missions 50 times over. I'm talking actual, fully animated, high quality scenes that look like they belong in a modern anime. The intro cutscene that I showed earlier is phenomenal. The lighting, the camera work, the Digimon designs, it's all just clean. Like even Pokemon hasn't looked this cinematic in years. And I know people like to joke about Digimon being the edgier Pokemon, but honestly, that edge works here. The tone's a little darker, the characters feel more grounded, and it doesn't treat you like you're 5. It's got that classic Bandai Namco storytelling vibe. Not perfect, but full of charm and heart. So no, it's not some award-winning, mind-blowing epic, but it's good enough to keep you hooked. And when the game hits you with one of those crisp animated story sequences after you finish a major boss, man, it feels rewarding. It's that rare combo of simple enough to follow and cool enough to make you care. So yeah, Pokemon ZA wasn't the worst thing ever, but for 70 bucks, I expect an actual good new experience. Instead, this game just took me in circles. Literally. Meanwhile, Digimon Storytime Stranger came out of nowhere and reminded me what this genre can be when a dev team actually has passion. It's got depth, personality systems, strategy, great cutscenes, a story that actually goes somewhere, and more importantly, it never treats you like you're 5. I don't even see it as a Pokemon versus Digimon thing anymore. It's a which game respected my time thing, and Digimon absolutely did. It gave me more world, more mechanics, and more reason to care. So if I needed one more slide, it would be, which game should you spend your $70 on? And obviously, we know the answer, Digimon. Anyways guys, thank you for sitting through my buyer's remorse video. I really appreciate it. Let me know in the comments down below which game you're playing, if you're playing Digimon or Pokemon or neither. Or if you actually like Pokemon, comment down below, present your case. I'm curious, I wanna know. And maybe I'll give it another shot. I don't know, probably not. Probably not. All right guys, drop a like down below and subscribe for more content. I really appreciate it. I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.